Hey, hello everybody. It is Dr. Steve back with another episode of Core Wellness TV. I'm at the head of, not the head of, but I'm at the current river at Pin Oak, and I just wanted to share with you some things about osteoporotic fractures today and how you can use a green band to help with that. And the reason we're here and the reason this is even up is because we're visiting Rebecca's parents, and her father a few weeks ago was trying to manage a wheelbarrow full of wood, and it got off center. He fell and started having pain the next day, and lo and behold, there was an osteoporotic fracture in his T7 area, about the middle of his back. And he doesn't want to have this kyphoplasty thing, you know, this surgery that they do to kind of jack it back up and kind of cement the vertebra back together. And so we're going to give him some exercise and just a few insights about that. Generally, if you have an osteoporotic fracture, you don't have to have osteoporosis to have a fracture, don't get me wrong. But if you have a fracture, a compression fracture of the vertebrae, it tends to collapse in the front. The vertebra tends to collapse in the front, and that's why, you know, if you continually have osteoporotic fractures, you get this forward draw. So, you know, the thing about osteoporosis and osteopenia is to keep healthy bones, you have to keep moving and keep putting load through your bones, because that's how your bones remodel. They respond to stress, good stress. So the worst thing you can do for an osteoporotic fracture is to have people, you know, crunch and do a lot of forward stuff. They need to take a load off of that vertebra by doing a lot of extension stuff. And this is where this comes in, okay? Very simple. I'm going to show you two very simple things you can do. And this is not only if you have these compression fractures or a history of them, okay, what this is great for, but it's also great for everything. It's one of the things that I have in my Fix Your Forward Head program that I'm by the way, just finishing up. I think today is the last day of March. I'm going to keep that beta group pricing open until today is the 31st. It's going to be open until the end of the weekend, so it'll be April 2nd. Today's the 31st, which is Friday. So Sunday, April 2nd is when that ends. So if you want to check that out, that's at, there should be somewhere on this screen, there's a little eye. You can click down, and you'll see more information about that, okay? So, but these are the two main things I showed Ray, right? The first one is, you know, first of all, you got to make sure you get up and move around. You can't sit around and be dormant. You can't be sedentary. You got to stay up and keep putting force through your bones as much as you can. So one of the things, the first thing is we took a simple band, like this is a green TheraBand, and you can get them for like $6. This is a 6-footer. And the first one I gave him was the simple double hitchhiker. Right? And the important thing here is the thumbs are going back. Right? You don't want to just do it like this, because that tends to make you get shruggy. Here, and then if you really open up those thumbs and try to point your double hitchhikers backwards, right? Then that'll do a lot of good for opening up the chest to offset all that forward draw. And the other thing you've got to watch for is not to get shruggy like this. You always stay long, open up, thumbs back. You can keep this in your pocket, guys. And that's what he said. He goes, I can keep this in my pocket. And I said, absolutely, right? Do it throughout the day. How many times? I don't do it, hold. I told him to hold for 3 breaths. Hold strong for 3 breaths, and that trains you to breathe as well, right? Hold for 3 breaths, and then slowly return. Do that 10 times, a couple of times a day, and you guys, you're gonna start training that motor program. You're going to start myelinating those neural circuits together, and it'll feel easier to be upright. Okay, so that's one. The other one that I like is the heavy serving tray process. This one you step on, and then instead of going backwards, you're going kind of up. Right? Like you're holding 2 heavy serving trays. Right? When you do this, when you go up, the shoulder blades go down. See that? So it's not like this. It forces a downward motion. Just like that. A couple of very, very simple things to do. And the same thing. Hold for 3 breaths. and put as much intention and focus on it as possible, because that's what helps your nervous system learn new programs. Is attention and focus is how you create the programs. And how do you really burn it in the long term? You focus and practice on it with consistency. Focused, deep practice. Every day. Consistency, deep practice is how you make it easier to feel upright and take the pressure off your bones. One other thing about the bones is, of course, he was recommended to take a bisphosphonate drug, which is the osteoporosis drugs. You may have seen certain famous actresses promoting. And just one quick thing about that is bone remodeling. What happens is you're constantly remodeling your bone. You have little Pac-Men called the osteoclasts that go in, and it grows from the inside out. And so you have the cortex, or the outside of your bone. Your Pac-Men go and they clean off the old bone, right? And as they clean off the old bone, then the osteoblasts, the workers that lay the cement, they come behind and start laying down the new fresh bone for you. Okay? Now what the drug does is it takes these osteoclast Pac-Men and it says, nope, nope, nope. It inhibits their ability. So you don't ever clean off the old bone, your old brittle bone on the edge. You don't ever clean that off. So the cement guys can still come down and they can lay stuff down, but it never gets rid of the old bone. So this bone becomes, yes, you'll see more bone growth appear on an x-ray, and they'll say, hey, look at that, we've got bone. But this bone is brittle bone. It's not fresh, good bone, right? Because all the old stuff's still there. It's like taking old cracked cement and put some new cement on top of it, and it just, you get this mess. That's why I've been having some oral implant posts done recently. That's one of the things they always ask: are you on any bisphosphonates drugs? Because they know that that's not good bone to put an anchor in to make a new post for you, to make an implant. So, focus on good movement, good weight-bearing movement, right? Something that puts movement through your system. Trampolines are great, mini trampolines, something that constantly puts motion through your system. And also keep your body out of that area where makes you more susceptible to those osteoporotic fractures. Deal? And do the Fix Your Forward Head program, right? It's going to go up. It's going to go up after this April 2nd, 2017. So take a look at that and get that at the best price. Get lots of good minerals into your system. So what did we do for him? We also gave him some MCHC, some microcrystalline hydroxyapatite. It's a form of, it's not necessarily just calcium, it's a whole bone food. Okay, it's like it's like the whole matrix that your bone is made of, rather than just taking like calcium carbonate, which is like rock, like from Tums, right? That doesn't get absorbed into your body very well, guys. So you want a bone food that's going to get, I use MCHC, I use Metagenics Bone Builder, and I also chose the one with magnesium and vitamin D. We're going to need extra vitamin D, because you can't absorb this calcium unless you have enough vitamin D in your system. Okay, so vitamin D, magnesium, and MCHC. Look at Bone Builder, Metagenics Bone Builder, and I love that product. And that gives you the raw materials so you can start laying down good functional bone. Okay, so there's a couple ideas, and also get your vitamin D tested. Right, get your vitamin D3 tested. Next time you go to your doc, say, I want to get my D3 tested, see where I am, and you want to get that up above 50. Get your number up above 50. 75 is awesome. Over 100 is probably a little much, but so be looking at that, because if you're under 30 on your numbers, it's really hard to build good bone. So check your D, get lots of good minerals, get this good motion into your body, and guys, I will see you next time. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being with me here at Pin Oak on the Current River. And get outside, grab some nature, and get your feet on the ground, although I've got my shoes on today, a little bit cold. I'm going to do just a little bit of fishing before I get out of here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.